Welcome to AirlineEmpires.net. In this tutorial we'll talk about how to get your airline up and running and how to create your first route. After you've authenticated your email address, you'll be looking at this page, which is your initial decision and the first decision you'll have to make among many in the AirlineEmpires.net airline simulation. The first decision you need to make is what aircraft you would like to use. Now, this is not the only aircraft that you can use, but we have been nice enough here at Airline Empires to give you an aircraft. You get one and you get to choose which one you would like. A Bombardier Q400, an ATR 72, or a Saab 2000. You also need to choose your home base. We will be giving you 5 gates in any city of your choice. For this example, we're going to choose the Bombardier Q400 and my home city of Cincinnati. We submit query and we get our first look at the main menu of the Airline Empires simulation. A quick note on the menu to the left. First, we're looking at the main menu, which gives us some basic information about our airline as well as allows us to see our route map. The aircraft allows us to manage our aircraft, see their profitability, and acquire new aircraft or get rid of our old aircraft. Our gates allows us to manage our gates, either acquiring new gates or getting rid of our old gates. Our routes allows us to open routes, close routes, and to manage the profitability of those routes. Finance shows us the overall finance of our airline. Mail allows us to communicate with other players in the simulation. Administration allows us to change our airline name and update our logo or upload a logo. Rankings allows us to see how we're doing in relation to the rest of the players. And of course, forum is where you can go to find more information from players who have been playing this for quite some time. So in order to reach our goal of creating our first route, the first thing we need to do is have an aircraft that can fly it. We know that we've already been given an aircraft. We see we have a Q400 with 2 Pratt & Whitney 150A engines. The next thing we need are 2 airports from which to fly. We only have one here as we check our gates menu. Cincinnati, you remember that's what I picked when I first started the simulation. So in order for us to open our first route, we first must acquire a new gate. To do that, we'll negotiate new gate contracts. For this example, I'm going to use Chicago in the US. Add Chicago gate. Then we see back on our gates page that we now have 2 airports from which we can fly. Cincinnati and Chicago. So we have the aircraft, we have the gates. It's time for us to open our first route. To do that, we open our routes menu. We see we have no route yet because we have not created one. So we go to the top here and open a new route. From our cities, we know that we will fly from Cincinnati to Chicago, and we see that there are 4 airlines that will be competing with us on this route. We have the gates and the available slots to do 5 frequencies, and we want to make sure that this is a round-trip flight. We continue on to our aircraft selection. We have our one aircraft, our Q400 the range of 1,567 miles, which is less than our 265-mile distance. We can do it. We need 4,200 feet of runway. We have 12,000 in Cincinnati. Hours available gives us 22 hours a day that we can fly this aircraft, and the 5 available frequencies is due to our gate availability. We check our aircraft, and we're looking at our yield management. We're just going to do 1 flight a day. Looking at our competitors' rates, the lowest rate is 379. We'll try 350 to see what that gives us. We calculate revenue. And we see that it gives us a load factor of 27%, not very high, a projected revenue of $14,349 with a projected profit of $8,037. I'm going to go ahead and lower that price a little bit to try to get the load factor up, which is one way we could do it, or we could turn on auto pricing. Now this will attempt to select the best price for us based on our competitors as well as the frequency that we chose. So on one frequency, it automatically sets the price, found the best price at $267, which gives us an 81% load factor and $26,000 in daily profit. Sounds good to me. We'll create. And now we see that we have one route. As we go back to our main menu, we have a daily operating profit of $32,000. And we will look at our route map. That's us all the way in North America. And we see that we have one flight between Cincinnati and Chicago O'Hare. There's plenty more routes to be open, plenty more aircraft to be bought, and plenty more competitors to go after to make your route map as big as possible. Please enjoy the game. One other thing we'd like to add is that it does cost us quite a bit of money to manage this game. In fact, the server costs alone are $200 a month, of which total revenues for the game bring in less than a third of that. So if you see on the bottom left of any of your main pages, we have a PayPal donation button. We do ask that if you enjoy the game and you would like to give a little donation to help the development and defer some of the cost of the server, we very much appreciate it. Thanks again for playing Airline Empires. If you have any questions, make sure to check out the forum, or you can contact me directly at questions@airlineempires.net.